Hey everyone, welcome back to Easy Listening English. I'm Anna, and oh my gosh, I am so excited about today's topic.
And I'm Ryan. And yeah, Anna has been looking forward to this episode all week. She keeps bringing it up.
Because it's such a good topic. Today we're talking about dating in relationships in modern times.
This is going to be fun. We're going to talk about everything: how dating has changed, online dating apps, first dates, red flags, breakup stories, all of it.
And before we dive in, if you're new here, welcome to Easy Listening English. Ryan and I are both native English speakers from the United States, and we create these long conversational podcasts to help you learn real, natural English.
Exactly. We don't do boring grammar lessons or textbook English. We have real conversations about interesting topics, and you learn English naturally by listening.
Right, and today's topic is perfect because relationships and dating are universal. Everyone can relate to this, whether you're single, dating, married, or it's complicated.
It's complicated, that Facebook relationship status.
Oh my God, yes, we're definitely going to talk about that. But first, if you're enjoying our podcast, please hit that subscribe button. It really helps us out.
Yes, and if you like this episode, give it a thumbs up. It helps other English learners find our content.
And most importantly, we want to hear from you. Leave a comment telling us about your dating experiences, your relationship stories, or just say hi. We read every single comment and we love hearing from you.
Absolutely. Your comments and questions actually help us decide what topics to cover next, so don't be shy.
Okay, so before we jump into the main topic, Ryan, I have to ask, are you dating anyone right now or are you single?
Way to put me on the spot. I'm actually single right now. I've been on a few dates here and there, but nothing serious. What about you?
I'm in a relationship. I've been with my boyfriend for about 2 years now. We met through mutual friends, actually. Very traditional, not through an app or anything.
Oh, that's nice. That's becoming more rare these days. It seems like everyone meets through apps now.
I know, and that's one of the things we're going to talk about today, how dating has completely changed with technology.
Right. When our parents were dating, they met at school, at work, through friends, at church, at social events. Now it's all swipe right, swipe left.
Exactly. But you know what? I think there are good and bad things about modern dating. It's not all terrible, even though people love to complain about it.
That's true. There are definitely pros and cons, and we're going to explore both sides today.
Yes, so listeners, get comfortable. This is going to be a long one, 130 minutes. But trust me, it's going to fly by because we have so much to talk about.
We're going to share personal stories, talk about awkward dating moments, discuss red flags in relationships, and give you tons of useful vocabulary about dating and relationships.
And remember, you can listen to this while you're commuting, while you're working out, while you're cooking, whatever. That's the beauty of podcasts.
Exactly. Okay, Anna, are you ready to dive into the world of modern dating?
I am so ready. Let's do this.
All right, everyone, here we go.
Okay, so let's start by talking about how dating has changed over the years. Ryan, do you think dating is easier or harder now compared to like 20 or 30 years ago?
Oh, wow, that's a tough question. I think it's both easier and harder in different ways. What do you think?
I totally agree. It's complicated. On one hand, it's easier to meet people now because of technology. You can literally browse through hundreds of potential dates from your couch.
Right. In the past, your dating pool was limited to people you physically encountered: your school, your workplace, your social circle. Now you have access to thousands of people in your city.
Exactly. But on the other hand, I think dating is harder now because there are so many options. It's like decision paralysis. You meet someone nice, but you're always wondering if there's someone better out there.
Ah, that's such a good point. It's like shopping on Amazon. Too many choices makes it hard to decide. People are always thinking, what if I swipe one more time and find someone even better?
Yes, it's called the paradox of choice. When you have too many options, you're never satisfied. You're always looking for something better.
Exactly, and I think this has made people less willing to work through problems in relationships. In the past, if you were dating someone and hit a rough patch, you'd try to work it out because it was harder to meet someone new.
Right, but now people are like, there are plenty of fish in the sea, and they just move on to the next person.
Plenty of fish in the sea. That's actually the name of a dating app, POF.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that one. There are so many dating apps now: Tinder, Bumble, Hinge, Match, eHarmony, Coffee Meets Bagel.
OK Cupid, Plenty of Fish, The League, Raya.
It's overwhelming, and each one has a different reputation. Like Tinder is known for hookups, Bumble is where women make the first move, Hinge is for serious relationships.
Right, and then there are niche dating apps for specific groups, like Christian Mingle for Christians, J Swipe for Jewish people, Farmers Only for farmers.
Farmers only. That's such a specific market. But I guess it makes sense. If you live on a farm, it's hard to meet people.
Exactly. Okay, so let's talk about how people used to date. Anna, how do you think our parents' generation dated?
Well, from what my parents have told me, dating was much more formal back then. Like a guy would ask a girl out on a proper date, dinner and a movie, or maybe dancing.
Right, and the guy would pick her up at her house, meet her parents, probably get interrogated by her dad.
Yes, the dad would be like, have her home by 10 p.m. Very protective.
And dates were actual events. You'd dress up, go somewhere nice, have real conversations face to face.
Exactly. Now, a lot of first dates are just let's grab coffee or want to hang out. It's so casual.
Right, and hang out. That phrase drives me crazy. What does hang out even mean? Are we dating or are we just friends?
I know, it's so ambiguous. In the past, if someone asked you on a date, it was clear this is romantic. Now, everything is so unclear.
Yes, and there's all this confusion about labels. Are we dating? Are we exclusive? Are we boyfriend and girlfriend? Are we just talking?
Oh God, talking. When did that become a relationship stage? We're just talking. What does that mean?
Right, it means you're texting and maybe hanging out but not officially dating. It's this weird limbo state.
Exactly. Our parents didn't have all these confusing stages. You were either dating or you weren't.
True, although I think they had going steady, which was like becoming official.
Oh, yeah. Going steady meant you were exclusively dating one person. That's such an old-fashioned term.
I know, no one says that anymore. Now we say exclusive or official or in a relationship.
Right. And another huge difference, communication. In the past, if you wanted to talk to someone you were interested in, you had to call them on their home phone.
And risk their parents answering. Hello, is Sarah there? Who's calling? It's Ryan.
So awkward. And if someone didn't answer, you just had to try again later. No texting, no leaving a message.
Well, you could leave a voicemail.
True, but that was also awkward. Hey, it's Ryan, just calling to say hi. Call me back. Okay, bye.
So true. Voicemails were so awkward. Now we just text.
Exactly, and texting has completely changed dating. Now you can be in constant communication with someone.
Which is both good and bad. It's nice to stay in touch, but it also creates all these new problems.
Like what?
Like, why didn't he text me back? Why did she take 3 hours to respond? He left me on red. What does this emoji mean?
Oh my God, yes. Analyzing text messages is like a full-time job now. He used a period instead of an exclamation point. Is he mad at me?
Right, or she used haha instead of ha ha ha. She must not think I'm funny.
It's ridiculous. We're overanalyzing everything.
Totally. And then there's the whole thing about response time. If you text back too quickly, you seem desperate. If you wait too long, you seem uninterested.
Yes, people play all these games. I'll wait 20 minutes before responding so I don't seem too eager.
It's exhausting. Why can't we just be genuine and text when we want to?
I know, but everyone's afraid of seeming too interested and scaring the other person away.
True. Okay, so we've talked about how dating used to be more formal and straightforward, and now it's more casual and complicated.
Right, and we've talked about how technology has completely changed. Dating apps, texting, social media.
Let's talk more specifically about online dating. That's a huge topic.
Yes, let's do it.
All right, so online dating. Anna, you said you met your boyfriend through mutual friends, so you haven't really done the dating app thing, right?
Right. I mean, I downloaded Tinder once just to see what it was like, but I never really used it seriously. What about you? You're single. Are you on dating apps?
I am. I've been on and off dating apps for a few years now. I've tried Tinder, Bumble, Hinge. I even tried Coffee Meets Bagel for a while.
And how's it going? Have you had any success?
Mixed results, honestly. I've been on probably like 20 or 30 first dates from apps over the years. Most of them were just okay, a few were really bad, and a couple were actually pretty good.
Interesting. So it's kind of hit or miss.
Definitely. It's a numbers game. You have to go on a lot of dates to find someone you really click with.
That sounds exhausting.
It can be. Dating app fatigue is real. Sometimes I delete all the apps and take a break for a few months because it's just too much.
What makes it exhausting?
Well, first of all, creating a profile is stressful. You have to choose the perfect photos, write a bio that's interesting but not trying too hard, answer all these prompts.
Oh, yeah, I've seen those. Like, my ideal Sunday, or I'm looking for someone who.
Exactly. And you're trying to present yourself in the best light while still being authentic. It's a lot of pressure.
And then once your profile's up, you have to start swiping?
Yeah, and swiping is kind of dehumanizing. You're literally judging people based on a few photos and a short bio. Swipe left if you're not interested, swipe right if you are.
That does sound harsh. You're rejecting people based on like 5 seconds of looking at their profile.
I know, and I always feel a little guilty about it. Like, I'm sure these people are nice, but I'm judging them on such superficial criteria.
Right. It's so appearance-based, which I guess dating has always been to some extent, but apps make it even more so.
Exactly. At least when you meet someone in person, you get a sense of their personality, their energy, their vibe. But on apps, it's just photos.
And photos can be so misleading. People choose their most flattering angles, use filters, post old photos from when they were 20 pounds lighter.
Oh my God, yes. I've been on dates where the person looks completely different from their photos. It's so awkward.
Really? Like, how different?
Well, there was one time I showed up to a date and the woman looked about 10 years older than in her photos. I later realized she was using photos from like a decade ago.
Oh no, that's so misleading. What did you do?
I politely went through with the date because I didn't want to be rude, but it was uncomfortable because she had essentially catfished me.
Catfished. That's when someone pretends to be someone they're not online, right?
Exactly. They use fake or heavily misleading photos. It's such a common problem with online dating.
That's terrible. Did you see her again after that date?
No, I politely declined when she asked for a second date. I just felt like she had been dishonest, and that's not a good foundation for a relationship.
Totally understandable. Okay, so we've talked about some negatives. It's exhausting, superficial, people can be misleading. Are there any positives to online dating?
Oh, absolutely. I don't want to sound all negative. There are definitely good things about it.
Like what?
Well, the biggest positive is accessibility. Like we said earlier, you can meet so many people that you would never encounter in your normal life.
Right, especially if you're in a small town or you have a specific job where you don't meet new people.
Exactly. And for people who are shy or introverted, apps can be less intimidating than approaching someone in person.
Oh, that's a good point. You can take your time crafting messages, and there's less pressure than face-to-face interaction.
Right, and you can be more specific about what you're looking for. Most apps let you filter by age, distance, height, education, religion, whether they want kids.
Wow, that's pretty detailed.
Yeah, so if certain things are deal breakers for you, you can filter those people out before even matching.
That seems efficient. In traditional dating, you might go on several dates with someone before discovering you have fundamental incompatibilities.
Exactly. With apps, you can see some of that information up front.
Okay, so accessibility, convenience, and filtering options. Any other positives?
Well, I think apps have normalized dating in a way. In the past, being single and actively looking for a relationship might have felt a little desperate, but now everyone's on apps. It's just what you do.
That's true. It's become completely mainstream. Even people in their 40s, 50s, and 60s are using dating apps now.
Right. It's not just for young people anymore. My mom is actually on Bumble.
Really? Your mom?
Yeah, she's been divorced for a few years and she decided to try online dating. She's been on a few dates.
That's great. How's it going for her?
Pretty well, actually. She says it's strange at first, but she's meeting interesting people. She hasn't found the one yet, but she's having fun.
That's wonderful. Good for her. Okay, so we've covered the pros and cons of dating apps in general. Let's talk about the actual experience. What happens after you match with someone?
Okay, so when two people both swipe right on each other, it's a match. Then you can start messaging.
And who messages first? The guy?
It depends on the app. On Bumble, women have to message first. On other apps, anyone can message first. But there's often this expectation that the guy should make the first move.
Interesting. And what do people usually say in first messages?
That's the million-dollar question. First messages are so hard. You want to be interesting and funny, but not try too hard.
What's a good first message?
Honestly, I usually try to reference something in their profile. Like if they mention they love hiking, I'll say, "Hey, I saw you're into hiking. Have you done name of local trail?" Something like that.
Oh, that's smart. It shows you actually read their profile.
Exactly. The worst first messages are just, "Hey," or "What's up?" Those are so boring.
Yeah, that doesn't give the other person much to work with.
Right. And then if the conversation goes well through messages, eventually someone has to suggest meeting in person.
And that's scary, right? Meeting an internet stranger?
It is, but you always meet in a public place for the first date. Coffee shops are popular, or bars, or restaurants.
Never at someone's house?
God, no. That would be way too dangerous. Always public for first dates.
Smart. Okay, we'll talk more about first dates. Let's talk about some of the specific dating apps. You mentioned Tinder. That's probably the most famous one, right?
Yeah, Tinder is the most well-known. It's been around since like 2012, so it's pretty established.
And what's Tinder's reputation?
Um, Tinder has a reputation for being more casual. Like people use it for hookups more than serious relationships.
Really? So if you're looking for something serious, you wouldn't use Tinder?
Well, some people do find relationships on Tinder, but I think most people on there are just bored or swiping for entertainment.
Interesting. What about Bumble? You mentioned that's where women message first.
Yeah, Bumble was created by one of the Tinder co-founders with a twist. Women have to initiate the conversation. The idea is to empower women and reduce harassment.
Oh, I like that. Does it work?
I think so. The matches on Bumble tend to be more intentional because women only message guys they're really interested in.
Makes sense. What about Hinge? I've heard good things about that one.
Hinge is marketed as the app designed to be deleted, meaning it's for people looking for serious relationships, not hookups.
Oh, I like that philosophy.
Yeah, and the interface is different. Instead of just swiping, you respond to specific prompts or photos on someone's profile. It encourages more thoughtful interaction.
That sounds better than just swiping based on photos.
It is. I actually had more luck on Hinge than Tinder in terms of quality conversations.
Interesting. Okay, last question about apps. Have you ever had any really weird or funny experiences from online dating?
Oh man, so many. Where do I even start?
Give me your weirdest story.
Okay, so I matched with this woman on Tinder, and we had great conversations. We decided to meet for coffee. When I showed up, she brought her mom to the date.
What? Her mom to a first date?
Yes, her mom just sat there at the table with us the entire hour. It was the most awkward hour of my life.
Oh my God, why would she do that?
I have no idea. Maybe for safety? But she didn't warn me. She just showed up with her mom.
That's insane. Did you see her again?
Definitely not. That was a one and done.
I would think so. Okay, wow, that's a wild story. I think we need to take a quick break and then dive deeper into first dates and what comes after.
Sounds good.
Okay, we're back. So let's talk about first dates. Ryan, you've been on a lot of first dates from apps. What are they usually like?
First dates are interesting. There's always this mixture of excitement and anxiety. You're hoping the person is as cool as they seemed online, and you're also hoping they like you in person.
Right, because sometimes people have great chemistry through text, but then in person there's no spark.
Exactly, or sometimes the opposite. You're not sure about someone from their profile, but in person they're amazing.
So, where do you usually go for first dates?
Coffee shops are super popular for first dates. They're casual, not too expensive, and easy to cut short if things aren't going well.
That's smart, like an escape route.
Exactly. If the date is going badly, you can finish your coffee in 20 minutes and leave. But if it's going well, you can stay and chat for hours.
That makes sense. What about dinner dates? Are those too much for a first date?
I think dinner can be risky for a first date. It's more pressure. You're committing to at least an hour or two. It's more expensive, and if there's awkward silence, it's really noticeable.
Yeah, sitting across from someone at a restaurant does feel very intense.
Right. That's why I usually suggest coffee or drinks for a first date. Keep it casual and low pressure.
Smart. So, what do you talk about on first dates?
Oh man, that's always the challenge. You want to have interesting conversation, but avoid certain topics.
Like, what topics should you avoid?
The big ones to avoid are politics, religion, past relationships, and money. Those can get too heavy or controversial for a first date.
Right. Keep it light and fun.
Exactly. So usually I ask about their job, their hobbies, where they're from, if they've traveled anywhere cool, what kind of music or movies they like.
Safe topics that help you get to know them.
Right, and hopefully the conversation flows naturally and you find common interests.
What if the conversation is awkward and there are long silences?
Then it's probably not a good match. Chemistry should feel relatively easy. If you're struggling to find things to talk about, that's not a great sign.
True. Okay, so let's talk about some first date disasters. What's your worst first date story?
Oh God, I have a few. Okay, so one time I went on a date with someone who spent the entire time talking about their ex.
No, really?
Yes, like I would ask a question and somehow every answer would circle back to, well, when I was with my ex, or my ex used to.
That's so rude. If you're still hung up on your ex, you shouldn't be dating.
Exactly. It was clear she wasn't over her previous relationship. I felt like I was her therapist, not her date.
Did you tell her that was bothering you?
No, I just kind of endured it. I'm not good at confrontation during dates.
So you just sat there while she talked about her ex for an hour?
Pretty much. And then at the end, she said, "This was fun. We should do it again." And I was like, sure, even though I knew I would never see her again.
Oh no. Why did you say yes if you didn't mean it?
I don't know. I didn't want to hurt her feelings in the moment. It's easier to just be vague and then not follow up.
But isn't that kind of misleading?
I guess so, but I think it's pretty common in dating. People say, yeah, let's hang out again, even when they don't mean it. It's like a polite way to end the date.
Interesting. So let's do this again doesn't necessarily mean they actually want to see you again.
Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. You have to read between the lines. If they actually want to see you again, they'll follow up with a text within a day or two suggesting a second date.
Ah, so the real test is whether they text you after.
Exactly. If they say, let's hang out again, but then never text you, they were just being polite.
Dating is so complicated.
It really is. Okay, do you want to hear another bad first date story?
Yes, give me another one.
Okay, so I went on a date with someone and she was on her phone the entire time.
What? Like texting during the date?
Yes, she was constantly checking her phone, responding to messages, scrolling through Instagram. I felt like I wasn't even there.
That's so rude. Did you say anything?
After about 20 minutes, I said something like, "Wow, you're popular today," trying to hint that she should put her phone away.
And did she?
She said, "Oh, sorry," and put it away for maybe 5 minutes, and then she was right back on it.
Unbelievable. That's such a red flag.
Huge red flag. If someone can't put their phone away for 1 hour to focus on a date, that tells you a lot about them.
Absolutely. Okay, so we've heard some bad first date stories. Have you had any really good first dates?
Yeah, I have. Not all of them are disasters.
Tell me about a good one.
Okay, so I went on a coffee date with someone about a year ago, and we just clicked immediately. The conversation was so easy and fun. We laughed a lot, we had similar senses of humor, and we found out we had a ton in common.
Aw, that sounds great. What happened after?
We stayed at the coffee shop for like 3 hours, way longer than planned, and then we walked around downtown for another hour just talking.
That's so nice. Did you go on more dates?
We did. We dated for about 4 months.
Oh, what happened? Why did it end?
We just realized we wanted different things long term. She wanted to move to a different city for her career, and I wasn't ready to leave, so we ended it amicably.
That's mature. At least you had a good experience, even if it didn't work out long term.
Exactly. Not every relationship has to end in marriage. Sometimes people were just in your life for a season, and that's okay.
That's a healthy perspective. Okay, let's talk about some first date etiquette. Who pays on the first date?
Oh, the eternal question.
It's controversial, right?
Very. Traditionally, the man is expected to pay, especially if he asked the woman out.
But things are changing now, right?
Yeah, I think it's becoming more common to split the bill or for each person to pay for their own items. It depends on the couple.
What do you usually do?
I usually offer to pay for the whole bill, but I appreciate when the woman offers to split it. It shows she's not just there for a free meal.
Free meal? Is that a thing? Do people actually go on dates just for free food?
Apparently, yes. I've heard stories of people who use dating apps just to get free dinners. They have no intention of actually dating the person.
That's terrible. That's basically using people.
I know. It's one of the downsides of dating app culture. Some people are just out there taking advantage.
Wow. Okay, so that's another reason to suggest coffee instead of dinner for first dates. Less risk of being used for a free meal.
Exactly. A $5 coffee is less of a loss than a $50 dinner.
True. Okay, what about physical contact on first dates? Like, do you hug when you first meet? Do you hold hands? Kiss goodbye?
Oh, that's tricky. I think a hug when you first meet is pretty standard and safe. It's friendly, but not too intimate.
What about kissing on the first date?
That really depends on how the date goes and the vibe between you. Some people kiss on first dates, some people don't.
What do you usually do?
I usually don't kiss on the first date unless there's really strong chemistry and it feels natural. I don't want to force it or make things awkward.
That's respectful. I think that's the right approach. Read the situation and don't pressure anyone.
Exactly. Consent and comfort are the most important things.
Absolutely. Okay, so we've talked about where to go, what to talk about, who pays, and physical contact. What else should we cover about first dates?
Let's talk about what happens after the first date, like how do you know if it went well and how do you ask for a second date?
Yes, that's important. How do you know if someone wants to see you again?
Usually, if the date went well, you can feel it, like if you've been talking for hours, laughing a lot, finding excuses to stay longer. Those are good signs.
Right, and what if you're not sure?
Then pay attention to what they say at the end. If they say something like, "This was really fun, I'd love to do this again," that's usually genuine.
And if they're vague, like, yeah, this was nice, without mentioning future plans?
That's probably a polite rejection. They're not interested but don't want to say it directly.
So after the date, how long do you wait before texting them?
I usually text the same night or the next day. Something simple like, "Hey, I had a really great time tonight. Would you want to grab dinner sometime this week?"
And if they're interested, they'll say yes.
Exactly. And if they make excuses or say they're busy without suggesting an alternative time, they're probably not interested.
Dating is so complicated. Okay, I think we've covered first dates pretty thoroughly. Should we move on to talking about relationships and red flags?
Yes, let's talk about red flags.
Okay, so red flags. These are warning signs that someone might not be a good partner, right?
Exactly. Red flags are behaviors or traits that indicate potential problems in a relationship. If you see too many red flags, you should probably run.
Run? That's dramatic, but probably good advice. So, what are some common red flags?
Oh man, there are so many. Where should we start?
Let's start with early red flags, things you might notice on the first few dates.
Okay, one big early red flag is if someone is rude to wait staff or service workers.
Oh, yes, I've heard this one. If they're mean to the waiter, they'll eventually be mean to you.
Exactly. How someone treats people who are serving them says a lot about their character.
Right. If they're condescending or rude to waiters, that's a major red flag.
Totally. Another early red flag is if someone only talks about themselves and never asks you questions.
Ah, that's annoying. Like they're not interested in getting to know you?
Right. Relationships should be reciprocal. If someone dominates every conversation and never asks about your life, that's a problem.
What about the phone thing you mentioned earlier, being on their phone constantly?
Yes, that's definitely a red flag. If someone can't put their phone away during a date, they're not really present with you.
And that probably won't get better in a relationship.
Nope. If anything, it gets worse. They'll be on their phone during dinners, during conversations, maybe even during intimate moments.
Ugh, that sounds terrible. Okay, what other red flags should we watch out for?
A big one is if someone talks badly about all their exes.
Like one bad ex is normal, but if all their exes are crazy or terrible,
Exactly. If everyone they've dated is supposedly awful, the common denominator is them.
right, like maybe they're the problem?
Usually, yes. And it also shows they probably haven't processed those relationships or taken responsibility for their part in the breakups.
That's a good point. What about someone who moves too fast, like saying, I love you after 2 weeks?
Huge red flag. That's called love bombing. It's when someone overwhelms you with affection and attention really quickly.
And that's bad?
It can be. Sometimes it's genuine, but often it's a manipulation tactic. They shower you with love to get you attached quickly, and then they change.
Oh, that's scary. So they're not really in love, they're just trying to lock you down?
Exactly. Real love takes time to develop. If someone is saying I love you or talking about marriage after a few dates, that's suspicious.
What are some other manipulation tactics to watch out for?
Gaslighting is a big one. That's when someone makes you question your own reality or memory.
Can you give an example?
Sure, like let's say your partner said they would meet you at 7 p.m., but they show up at 8. You say you're late, you said 7, and they respond, no, I said 8, you must have misheard me.
But you know you didn't mishear them.
Exactly. They're making you doubt yourself. And if this happens repeatedly, you start to question your own judgment.
That sounds really damaging.
It is. Gaslighting can seriously harm your mental health and self-esteem.
What other red flags should we mention?
Jealousy and possessiveness. Some people think jealousy is romantic, but it's actually toxic.
Like, a little jealousy is normal, but too much is bad.
Right. If someone gets upset that you're hanging out with your friends, or they check your phone constantly, or they want to know where you are at all times, that's not love, that's control.
And that can escalate to abuse.
Unfortunately, yes. Controlling behavior often gets worse over time.
So if you see those signs early, get out.
Absolutely. What about inconsistency, like someone who's hot and cold?
Oh, yes. One day they're texting you constantly and making plans. The next day they disappear.
Exactly. That's called breadcrumbing. They give you just enough attention to keep you interested, but they never fully commit.
Why would someone do that?
Usually because they like the attention and validation, but they don't actually want a real relationship. They're keeping you as an option while they look for someone better.
That's so disrespectful.
It is. If someone is genuinely interested in you, they'll be consistent. They'll text back, they'll make plans, they'll follow through.
Right. Consistency is important. What about someone who won't define the relationship?
Oh, situationships, when you're dating but they won't call you your boyfriend or girlfriend.
Why do people do that?
Usually because they want the benefits of a relationship without the commitment, they want to keep their options open.
So they can still date other people?
Basically, and if you ask them, what are we, they give vague answers like, let's just see where this goes, or I don't like labels.
But if you've been dating for months, you deserve clarity.
Absolutely. If someone won't commit after a reasonable amount of time, they're probably never going to.
So you should walk away?
Absolutely. If you want a real relationship, yes, don't waste time on someone who's not serious about you.
Good advice. Okay, what are some red flags that appear later in relationships, not just during dating?
Good question. One big one is if your partner tries to isolate you from your friends and family.
Like, they don't want you spending time with other people.
Exactly. They might say things like your friends are a bad influence, or your family doesn't understand you like I do.
And slowly you stop seeing other people.
Right, and then you're completely dependent on them, which is exactly what they want.
That's abusive behavior.
It is. A healthy partner encourages you to maintain your other relationships.
Absolutely. What about financial red flags?
Oh, lots of those. Like if someone is always asking to borrow money but never pays you back.
Or if they're constantly broke but spending money on unnecessary things.
Right. Financial irresponsibility can destroy relationships.
And what if they want access to your bank accounts or credit cards early in the relationship?
Red flag. You should keep finances separate until you're in a very serious, committed relationship.
Makes sense. What about different values or life goals? Is that a red flag?
It depends. If one person wants kids and the other definitely doesn't, that's a fundamental incompatibility.
Right, you can't compromise on something like that.
Exactly. You should discuss big topics like kids, marriage, career goals, where you want to live, all that stuff relatively early.
How early?
I'd say within the first few months of dating. You don't want to invest years in someone only to find out you want completely different things.
That makes sense. Better to know early.
Absolutely. Okay, let's talk about some green flags now. Positive signs that someone is a good partner.
Yes, let's end on a positive note. Okay, so we've talked about all the red flags and warning signs. Now let's talk about green flags, the good signs that someone might be a great partner.
Yes, because it's not all doom and gloom. There are good people out there.
Exactly. So what are some green flags to look for?
One of the biggest green flags is good communication. If someone can express their feelings clearly and listen to yours, that's huge.
Right. Like they don't shut down during disagreements or give you the silent treatment.
Exactly. They're willing to talk through problems and work towards solutions together.
That's so important. What else?
Respect for your boundaries. If you say, I need some alone time, or I'm not comfortable with that, and they respect it without getting upset, that's a green flag.
Yes, your partner should respect your needs and not pressure you.
Right, and on that note, someone who respects your autonomy is great. They don't try to control you or make all your decisions.
They trust you to make your own choices.
Exactly, they encourage your independence, not try to limit it.
What about someone who makes an effort with your friends and family?
Oh, that's a big green flag. If your partner genuinely tries to get to know the important people in your life, that shows they care about your whole world, not just your relationship with them.
Right. They want to be integrated into your life.
Exactly. What about emotional availability? That's a huge green flag.
What does that mean exactly?
It means they're open about their feelings, they're not afraid of emotional intimacy, and they make you feel safe to be vulnerable.
So they don't shut down or avoid emotional conversations.
Right, they can talk about their feelings and they want to hear about yours.
That's really important for a deep connection.
Absolutely. Another green flag is consistency. We talked about inconsistency being a red flag, so the opposite, consistency, is green.
Like they text you regularly, they follow through on plans, their feelings don't change day to day.
Exactly. You're not anxiously wondering if they still like you or if they're going to disappear.
Right. You feel secure in the relationship.
Yes, security and stability are so underrated. It might not be as exciting as the ups and downs, but it's so much healthier.
Absolutely. What about someone who apologizes when they're wrong?
Huge green flag. Being able to say, I'm sorry I was wrong is so important.
And not just apologizing, but actually changing the behavior.
Yes, an apology without change is just manipulation.
Right. True apologies come with action.
Exactly. What about someone who supports your goals and dreams?
Oh, that's important. They should be your cheerleader.
Right. If you say, I'm thinking about going back to school, or I want to start my own business, a good partner says, that's great. How can I support you? Not, that's stupid or that'll never work.
Yes, they should believe in you and encourage you.
Absolutely. And they should celebrate your successes, not be jealous or try to diminish them.
Right. Your wins are their wins in a healthy relationship.
Exactly. What about sense of humor? I think that's a green flag.
Yes, being able to laugh together is so important.
Right. Life is hard. You need someone who can make you laugh and who laughs at your jokes.
Even the bad ones.
Exactly, especially the bad ones. If they fake laugh at your terrible puns, that's true love.
So true. Okay, what about how they treat other people? We said being rude to waiters is a red flag, so being kind to everyone is a green flag.
Absolutely. If someone is genuinely kind and respectful to everyone, not just you, but waiters, cashiers, strangers, that shows good character.
Right. Anyone can be nice to people they want to impress, but true character shows in how you treat people you don't need anything from.
Exactly. What about someone who has their own life and interests?
Oh, yes, you don't want someone who's totally dependent on you for all their happiness.
Right, it's healthy for both people to have their own hobbies, friends, and interests outside the relationship.
Because if they have nothing else in their life, that's a lot of pressure on you to be their everything.
Exactly, and it's boring if you do everything together all the time. You need some separateness to have things to talk about.
True. Absence makes the heart grow fonder.
Yes, okay, what about someone who admits when they're wrong instead of pretending they know everything?
Oh, intellectual humility. That's attractive.
Right, someone who can say, I don't know, or I was wrong about that is much better than someone who has to be right all the time.
Yes, pride and ego can destroy relationships.
Totally. What about financial responsibility? We talked about financial irresponsibility being a red flag.
Right, so someone who has their finances together, pays their bills on time, saves money, that's a green flag.
Absolutely. You don't want to be with someone who's constantly in financial crisis.
Right, financial stress is one of the biggest causes of relationship problems.
True. What about shared values? Is that a green flag?
I think so. You don't have to agree on everything, but having similar core values is important.
Right, like if you both value honesty, family, kindness, personal growth, that creates a strong foundation.
Yes, you're moving in the same direction.
Exactly. Okay, last green flag, someone who makes you feel good about yourself.
Yes, this is so important. A good partner builds you up, not tears you down.
Right, they compliment you, they notice when you've done something well, they make you feel loved and appreciated.
And they don't criticize you constantly or make you feel bad about yourself.
Exactly. After spending time with them, you should feel energized and happy, not drained and insecure.
That's a great test. How do you feel after seeing them?
Right, if you consistently feel worse after spending time with them, that's a problem.
Absolutely. Okay, I think we've covered a lot of green flags. The message is there are good people out there who will treat you well.
Yes, don't settle for red flags just because you're afraid of being alone.
Right, being single is better than being in a bad relationship.
Amen to that. Okay, should we talk about breakups next?
Oh God, yes, let's talk about breakups.
All right, breakups. Nobody likes them, but they're a huge part of dating.
Unfortunately, yes. Most relationships end in breakups. That's just reality.
Right, only one relationship per person ends in happily ever after. All the others end in breakups.
That's a depressing but accurate way to put it.
Sorry, but it's true. So we might as well talk about how to handle breakups well.
Absolutely. So let's start with when do you know it's time to break up with someone?
Good question. I think you know when you're more unhappy than happy in the relationship.
Right. Every relationship has ups and downs, but if you're consistently miserable, that's a sign.
Exactly. Or if you find yourself constantly thinking about what it would be like to be single again.
Or if you're fantasizing about being with other people.
Yes. And I don't mean like celebrity crushes or whatever. Everyone has those. I mean seriously considering dating someone else.
Right. If you're actively looking at other people as potential partners, you've already checked out of your current relationship.
Exactly. What about when you've lost respect for your partner?
Oh, that's huge. If you don't respect someone, you can't love them properly.
Right. Love and respect go hand in hand.
So if you're constantly irritated by them, or you think they're incompetent, or you're embarrassed by them, that's a sign.
Definitely. What about when you've grown apart?
Yes, sometimes people change and evolve in different directions.
Right. You might have been compatible at 22, but at 30, you want completely different things.
And that's nobody's fault. People grow.
Exactly. It's sad, but sometimes breaking up is the right choice, even if no one did anything wrong.
Right, not all breakups are because someone cheated or was terrible.
True. Sometimes you just realize you're not right for each other long term.
Okay, so you've decided you need to break up with someone. How do you actually do it?
Oh man, this is hard. I think you should do it in person if possible.
Really? Not over text?
Definitely not over text. That's so cowardly. Unless you've only been on a few dates, you should break up in person.
I agree. It's more respectful.
Right. You owe someone a face-to-face conversation if you've been dating for a while.
So, what do you say?
I think you should be honest, but kind. Don't make up excuses, but don't be cruel either.
Can you give an example?
Sure, you might say something like, I've really enjoyed getting to know you, but I don't think we're the right match long term. I think we want different things, and I don't want to waste your time.
That's straightforward but kind.
Right, you're being clear that it's over, but you're not attacking them personally.
What shouldn't you say?
Don't say, it's not you, it's me. That's such a cliche, and everyone knows it's bullshit.
True. That doesn't make anyone feel better.
Right, and don't give them false hope by saying things like, maybe in the future, if you don't mean it.
Yes, be clear that it's over.
Exactly. And don't list all their flaws. Just say you're not compatible and leave it at that.
Right, no need to destroy their self-esteem on the way out.
Exactly. Okay, what about when someone breaks up with you? How do you handle being dumped?
Oh, that's so hard. Being on the receiving end is tough.
It really is. I've been dumped several times and it never feels good.
How do you cope with it?
Honestly, the first few days or weeks are usually pretty rough. You feel sad, rejected, maybe angry.
Do you reach out to them?
I try not to. I think it's important to respect the breakup and not beg them to reconsider.
Even if you really want them back?
Even then, if someone doesn't want to be with you, you have to accept it. You can't force someone to love you.
That's true, but it's hard.
It is, but it's better to move on with dignity than to desperately try to change their mind.
Right. Begging is not attractive.
Not at all, and it rarely works. If someone's decided to end it, they've probably been thinking about it for a while.
So what do you do instead of reaching out to them?
I lean on friends and family for support. Talk about your feelings with people who care about you.
That's good advice. What else?
Stay busy. Throw yourself into work, hobbies, exercise, whatever. Don't sit around moping all day.
Right. Distraction helps.
It does, and I think it's okay to be sad. Don't pretend you're fine if you're not. Allow yourself to grieve the relationship.
But don't wallow forever.
Right, it's okay to be sad for a while, but eventually you need to move forward.
How long does it usually take to get over someone?
I've heard a general rule is half the length of the relationship, so if you dated for a year, it might take 6 months to fully get over them.
Does that feel accurate to you?
Sometimes, it really depends on how invested you were and how the relationship ended.
Right. Some breakups are easier to get over than others.
Exactly. If you were already falling out of love, the breakup might be a relief, but if you were blindsided, it can take much longer.
What about rebounds? Is it a good idea to start dating someone new right after a breakup?
I'm mixed on this. Some people say you need time to heal before dating again.
But others say the best way to get over someone is to get under someone else.
True. I think it depends on the person. Some people need time alone, others move on faster by dating.
But you probably shouldn't start a serious relationship immediately after a breakup.
Right. Rebound relationships rarely last because you're not emotionally ready.
You're just using the new person to avoid dealing with your feelings about your ex.
Exactly. And that's not fair to the new person.
True. Okay, what about staying friends with your ex? Is that possible?
Sometimes, I think it depends on how the relationship ended and how much time has passed.
Like, if you had a messy, dramatic breakup, probably don't try to be friends right away.
Right, you need space and time to heal. But if you broke up amicably and some time has passed, friendship might be possible.
Do you stay friends with any of your exes?
One or two, but we're not close friends, more like friendly acquaintances. We'll wish each other happy birthday or like each other's posts on social media.
That seems healthy.
Yeah, I think as long as there are no lingering feelings and you've both moved on, it can work.
But if one person still has feelings, friendship is probably a bad idea.
Definitely. That just prolongs the pain.
Okay, what about social media after a breakup? Should you unfollow or block your ex?
Oh, this is controversial. Some people think you should immediately block them and cut all contact.
the clean break approach.
Right. And I think that's probably healthiest, especially if the breakup is fresh.
Because seeing their posts and stories will just make you sad or angry.
Exactly. Why torture yourself by watching them move on?
But some people stay connected on social media.
Yeah, I think that's okay if enough time has passed and you're truly over them. But right after a breakup, I'd recommend unfollowing or muting them.
What's the difference between unfollowing and blocking?
Unfollowing means you won't see their posts, but you're still technically connected. Blocking completely cuts off all connection.
And blocking can seem harsh.
It can, but sometimes it's necessary. If someone won't leave you alone, or if seeing any reminder of them is painful, blocking is okay.
Right, you have to prioritize your own mental health.
Absolutely. Okay, let's talk about some common breakup mistakes.
Yes, what shouldn't you do after a breakup?
Don't drunk text your ex. That's a classic mistake.
Oh no, have you done that?
Maybe once or twice. And I always regretted it the next morning.
What did you say?
Oh, embarrassing things like I miss you or can we talk? Nothing good comes from drunk texting exes.
No, probably not. What else shouldn't you do?
Don't stalk their social media obsessively. I know it's tempting, but it's not healthy.
Right, don't analyze every post trying to figure out if they're dating someone new.
Exactly. That's just torturing yourself. What about bad-mouthing your ex to everyone?
Yeah, try to avoid that. It's okay to vent to close friends, but don't trash talk your ex to everyone you meet. Why not? If they were terrible, why not tell people?
Because it makes you look bitter, and honestly, people don't want to hear endless complaints about your ex.
That's fair. Keep it classy.
Right. Take the high road.
Okay, last question about breakups. How do you know when you're ready to date again?
I think you're ready when you can think about your ex without feeling intense emotions.
Like you're neutral about them.
Yeah, not angry, not sad, not longing for them, just indifferent.
And when you're excited about the future rather than dwelling on the past.
Exactly. When you're looking forward rather than backward, you're probably ready.
That makes sense. Okay, I think we've covered breakups pretty thoroughly.
Yeah, it's a tough topic, but important.
Absolutely. Okay, should we talk about long-term relationships and marriage next?
Yes, let's talk about when things actually work out.
Okay, so we've talked about dating, breakups, all the hard stuff. Now let's talk about long-term relationships.
Yes, because some relationships do work out. Not everything ends in disaster.
Exactly. There are success stories.
Right. So, Anna, you said you've been with your boyfriend for 2 years. How's that going?
It's going really well. I mean, it's not perfect. No relationship is, but I'm happy.
That's great. What makes it work?
I think communication is huge. We talk about everything, our feelings, our problems, our future plans.
And you don't avoid difficult conversations?
No, I mean, it's not always fun to have those talks, but we do it because we know it's important.
That's mature. A lot of couples avoid hard conversations and then problems build up.
Exactly. We'd rather deal with small issues as they come up than let them become big issues.
Smart. What else makes your relationship work?
We genuinely like each other. Like, beyond just attraction, we're friends. We enjoy spending time together.
That's so important. You should actually like your partner as a person.
Right, and we make each other laugh. Even when we're arguing, we can usually find a way to lighten the mood.
That's a good sign. What about the future? Do you guys talk about marriage?
We do. We both see marriage in our future, probably within the next couple years.
That's exciting. Are you nervous about it?
A little. Marriage is a big commitment, but I think if you've found the right person, it's worth it.
Absolutely. Okay, so let's talk about what makes relationships work long-term. What are the key ingredients?
I think trust is number one. If you don't trust your partner, the relationship won't last.
Totally agree. How do you build trust?
By being honest, following through on your commitments, and being reliable. If you say you're going to do something, do it.
Right. Trust is built through consistent behavior over time.
Exactly. What else is important?
Respect. You have to respect your partner's opinions, boundaries, and autonomy.
Yes, even when you disagree, you can still be respectful.
Right. You can disagree without being disagreeable.
I like that phrase. What about compromise?
Oh, that's huge. You can't always get your way. Sometimes you have to meet in the middle.
Right. Relationships are about give and take.
Exactly. What about maintaining individuality?
Yes, it's important to still be your own person, even in a relationship.
Right. You shouldn't lose yourself in the relationship.
Exactly. You should still have your own hobbies, friends, and interests.
And your partner should support that.
Absolutely. Okay, what about conflict? How do healthy couples handle arguments?
I think healthy couples fight fair. They don't bring up past issues, they don't name call, and they focus on solving the problem.
Right. The goal is to resolve the issue, not to win the argument.
Exactly. You're on the same team. It's not you versus them, it's both of you versus the problem.
I love that perspective. What else?
Don't go to bed angry. Try to resolve things before going to sleep.
Really? I've heard that advice before, but is it realistic?
Maybe not always. Sometimes you're too tired or emotional to resolve things that night.
Right. Sometimes you need to sleep on it and come back to it with fresh perspective.
True, I guess a better rule is don't let things fester for days or weeks. Address problems relatively quickly.
That makes more sense. Okay, what about keeping the romance alive? How do couples avoid getting complacent?
Date nights. Even in long-term relationships, you should still go on dates.
Right, just because you're together doesn't mean you stop putting in effort.
Exactly. You should still try to impress each other sometimes.
What else keeps things fresh?
Trying new things together. New experiences create bonding and keep things interesting.
Like traveling together or taking a class together?
Yeah, or even just trying new restaurants or activities in your city.
That makes sense. Novelty keeps things exciting.
Exactly. What about physical affection? Is that important long-term?
I think so. Even small things like holding hands or hugging or kissing goodbye.
Right. Physical touch maintains connection and intimacy.
And I don't just mean sex, although that's important too, but also non-sexual affection.
Yes, cuddling on the couch, back rubs, all that stuff.
It keeps you connected. Okay, let's talk about marriage specifically. Why do people get married?
That's a big question. I think people get married for different reasons. Love, commitment, tradition, legal benefits, religious reasons.
Right, for some people it's very important, for others not so much.
Exactly. What do you think marriage means?
I think it's a public declaration of commitment. You're saying, I choose you in front of everyone you care about.
That's beautiful. And it's a legal contract too, which provides certain protections and benefits.
Right, like if something happens to you, your spouse has certain rights.
Exactly. Healthcare decisions, inheritance, all that stuff.
And do you want to get married someday, Ryan?
I think so. I'm not in a rush, but yeah, if I find the right person.
What would make someone the right person for marriage?
Someone I can imagine growing old with. Someone whose values align with mine. Someone I respect and who respects me.
And you'd have to agree on big things like kids, where to live, financial goals.
Absolutely. Those are deal breakers. You can't marry someone who wants kids if you definitely don't.
Right. What about weddings? Do you have any opinions on those?
Oh man, weddings are crazy expensive. I think the wedding industry has gotten out of control.
You're not wrong. The average wedding costs like $30,000 now.
That's insane. You could buy a car or put a down payment on a house for that.
I know. I think a lot of people feel pressured to have this big, elaborate wedding.
But honestly, the wedding is just one day. The marriage is what matters.
Exactly. You're better off spending that money on your future together.
Right. A simple wedding and a great honeymoon sounds way better than an extravagant wedding and being broke afterwards.
I agree, although I do want a nice wedding, just not like mansion with 300 guests nice.
Fair. What's your dream wedding?
Maybe like 50 to 75 people, somewhere pretty, good food and music, just celebrating with people we love.
That sounds perfect and reasonable.
Right, keep it intimate and meaningful.
I like that. Okay, what about marriage challenges? What do you think are the biggest struggles married couples face?
Money is a huge one. Financial stress can destroy marriages.
Absolutely. That's why it's important to be on the same page financially before getting married.
Right, talk about spending habits, debt, savings goals, all that.
Right. What else is challenging?
Kids, if you have them, they put a lot of strain on the relationship.
How so?
Well, you're exhausted, you have less time for each other, you might disagree on parenting styles.
That makes sense. I've heard a lot of couples say the relationship suffered after having kids.
Right, you have to make an effort to maintain your connection despite the challenges.
Right. What about growing apart? Can that happen even in marriage?
Unfortunately, yes, people change over time, and sometimes they change in different directions. And that's why it's important to keep communicating and growing together rather than growing apart.
Right. You have to be intentional about staying connected.
Exactly. Marriage takes work. It doesn't just stay good automatically.
True. Okay, I think we've covered long-term relationships and marriage pretty well.
I think so too. Should we wrap up?
Yes, let's do a review and then close out.
Okay, everyone. Wow, we have covered so much in the last 2 hours.
We really have. We've talked about everything from online dating apps to marriage.
Let's do a quick review of what we discussed.
Great idea. So we started by talking about how dating has changed over the years.
Right. Dating used to be more formal and straightforward. Now it's more casual and complicated.
We talked about all the different dating apps, Tinder, Bumble, Hinge, and how each one has a different vibe.
Then we dove into online dating, the good, the bad, and the ugly.
We discussed first dates, where to go, what to talk about, who pays, and how to tell if it went well.
Then we covered red flags, warning signs that someone might not be a good partner.
Like being rude to wait staff, talking badly about all their exes, moving too fast, gaslighting, jealousy, and inconsistency.
But we also talked about green flags, positive signs of a healthy relationship.
Like good communication, respecting boundaries, emotional availability, consistency, and kindness to others.
Then we tackled the tough topic of breakups, when to end it, how to do it, and how to cope with being dumped.
And finally, we talked about long-term relationships in marriage, what makes them work, and the challenges couples face.
That's a lot of ground covered.
It really is. So let's share some final thoughts about dating and relationships in modern times.
Okay, my final thought is don't settle. There are a lot of people out there who will treat you poorly. Don't accept that just because you're afraid of being alone.
That's excellent advice. Being single is way better than being in a bad relationship.
Exactly. And my other thought is work on yourself. The best way to attract a good partner is to be a good partner.
So true. You can't expect someone amazing if you're not bringing anything to the table yourself.
Right. Go to therapy, develop your interests, be financially stable, work on your communication skills.
Yes, self-improvement is attractive. What are your final thoughts, Ryan? I think my biggest piece of advice is be genuine. Don't play games. Don't pretend to be someone you're not. The right person will love the real you.
That's beautiful. Authenticity is so important.
And my other thought is patience. Finding the right person takes time. Don't rush into relationships just because you feel pressure to couple up.
Right. It's okay to be single while you're looking for the right match.
Exactly. And when you do find someone special, cherish them. Relationships take work, but they're worth it.
So true. Okay, listeners, we want to hear from you. What are your experiences with modern dating?
Yes, tell us about your worst first date, your best relationship, your funniest dating app story, whatever you want to share.
And if you learned any new vocabulary today, let us know. We covered so many dating and relationship terms.
Right, words like catfished, ghosting, breadcrumbing, love bombing, gaslighting, red flags, green flags.
So many. This episode was packed with useful vocabulary.
It really was. Okay, so before we go, please remember to like this video if you enjoyed it.
And subscribe to Easy Listening English if you haven't already. We create these long conversational podcasts to help you learn natural English.
We cover all kinds of interesting topics: relationships, travel, food, daily life, and more.
So hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss future episodes.
And share this video with anyone who's learning English or anyone who's interested in dating and relationships.
Yes, and most importantly, leave us a comment. We read every single one and we love hearing from you.
Your comments help us decide what topics to cover next, so don't be shy.
All right, I think that's everything. Ryan, any last words?
Just good luck out there in the dating world, everyone. It's tough, but when you find the right person, it's amazing.
Aw, that's sweet. Okay, everyone, thank you so much for spending 130 minutes with us today.
Yeah, seriously, if you listen to this whole thing, you're dedicated. We appreciate you.
We really do. Your support means everything to us.
All right, until next time.
Happy dating, everyone.
Or happy being single, whatever works for you.
Yes, be happy either way.
Bye, everyone. See you next time.